binge eating. I'll start maybe a bit about my own past and then lead through to where I am today. Even after taking part in The Biggest Loser TV show, when I came home, I found some behaviours weren't as healthy as they should be. Emotions of going to the gym and making healthy food because I thought I should, as opposed to wanting to, after all. But I was doing that for so long, going through motions of what I thought I should do. I joined slimming clubs. This loser, I joined slimming clubs because I thought, still, this is what I need, this is what has helped before. And it was a really frustrating time because I had qualified as a personal trainer, studying nutrition and fitness, and invested a lot of time into that. In terms of knowing what to do, and having been there, wore the t-shirt, I knew exactly what I should be doing, but still I wasn't doing it. The main, behaviour that was impacting me negatively is that there will be occasions whereby, have a particular episode whereby I just find myself eating food, and a lot of it without knowing why. Find any common reason or trend or anything when I was trying to figure it out myself, and I spent years trying to figure it out. Time as well, I was putting weight back on, which in itself was adding pressure to me because I was thinking I was failing people in what they thought about me, that I was almost becoming a disappointment again to some people that looked to me as somebody that lost a lot of weight and I was regaining some. At times, I almost felt like a fraud. Here I was struggling with this eating thing, and I was giving guidance to others. What I was giving was 100% sound, advice and in line with the kind of science behind eating and fitness, but almost hypocritical. Here I am telling somebody what they need to do to lose weight, and here's me, and after devouring a packet of wagon wheels and not knowing why, and not being able to figure out why. It was literally eating me up, pardon the pun. From first thing in the morning right through to bedtime, all I would think about is food. Is how I was failing at something that I shouldn't be, that I should know better about. In my mind, people were going to be passing comment and having negative opinions and worrying too much about other people's thoughts. Building up and building up and building up. And only last year, as recently as last year, not even a year ago, actually just over a year ago, point whereby every minute of every day I was thinking negative thoughts about myself again. Very similar to how I felt before I went on Biggest Loser. And that was soul destroying, absolutely soul destroying for me. I reached a point where I thought, I do not know what the answer is. I admitted defeat. I could not overcome it. I had tried for 4 years and couldn't. Years, if you think even before Biggest Loser, but kind of particularly since I'd all the weight lost, I kind of expected myself to know better. So I did a bit of research looking at people that supported eating disorders, which binge eating is, and that's not something to be ashamed of. I spoke to anybody about this because, again, I felt that it would be a sense of disappointment to people, and I didn't want that. Equally, I kind of thought and knew underneath it that the people who loved me probably were a bit worried that Paddy was gaining weight again. I did my research, spent about a week looking around at people in the Dublin area and further afield who supported eating disorders, looking for people that I could relate to on some level that might get me and my mindset, and somebody that I guess I got a good vibe from. And that's the only way I could explain it, is I was looking for somebody I get a good vibe from. My mind and my body were not in sync, and I could not understand why. I knew what to do, I wanted to do it, but I wasn't doing it. I was there, I would plan my workouts, I would plan my meals, and then not do them, and I didn't know why. And this is what I needed help with. That sabotage of going through episodes of binging. And what really came to a head to finally thinking I need to do something about this was, there was one night a particular thing happened which I didn't really associate with binge eating, but control. But anyway, after work that night, got in my car, went to the petrol station to get petrol, and literally 5 minutes later, the car with a full packet of wagon wheels gone, devoured, and no idea why. And the sense of disappointment and fear and anger and just frustration at not being able to figure myself out. It was too much at that point. So I was like, right, that's what led me into thinking, Paddy, you need professional help with this. You can't figure it out by yourself. I found this woman in Dublin, in Sandyford, which was right beside where I was working at the time, so I could keep it private and not have to tell people. It was very much something that I worked through myself, and it was private. And that's why I didn't talk about it on my Facebook or Twitter or anything like that at the time. But I'm very honest along the way, but this was something that Paddy had to figure out on his own with help. It was expensive. I paid, I think it was approximately €100 a session with this wonderful, absolutely amazing is the only way I can describe it. From the moment I stepped in, I knew she got me. To her that the only way I could put it into words is that I knew in my mind what I needed to do, but my body wasn't following through, or vice versa. She got me. I think it was maybe 7 sessions with her. Each session we kind of just talked about things and focused on different things. Kind of, talking about when I was younger, relationships, various things about life. And there was 2 things throughout that whole thing in the episodes whereby I got really emotional. It took me by surprise, because people that know me day to day would say, oh, I'm happy-go-lucky and whatever, but one was a conversation led to Angie Dowds, who was a trainer on The Biggest Loser, and somebody I became immensely close with, was just a rock to me, and who committed suicide shortly after Biggest Loser. Because I guess there's very few people who really understood just how close I was with Angie. I think the loss of her, I was bottling up inside somewhat as well. And that led to a very emotional session. The second one that led to a lot of emotion coming out was the lady asked me to say, Paddy, you are awesome. Words, Paddy, just want you to say, I am awesome. And I couldn't say it, and I'd be like, and then I'd stop, because I had such a negative mindset about myself again. And I started bawling my eyes out, and we spoke through it, and eventually I managed to an hour of frustration, but that was almost through gritted teeth. But she got me there. What I want to do is to share the outcomes of those sessions that I done, the things that I wrote down, refer back to if ever I find that I have an episode of binge eating again, things to help keep me from binge eating. I've shared bits of these before with people, but not them all, because they are, I guess, quite personal to me and to what I went through last year. I'm very comfortable with talking about it now, so I don't mind. I need to put on my glasses though, half blind. The first kind of key point as a reminder is the past is the past. Something so simple, but you need to focus on. When you eating yourself up about things that have happened in the past, you cannot change them. Whether that's something from years ago or yesterday or this morning, learn to let go of things. It sounds so simple, but it's so difficult. The second thing is this whole idea of going through the motion of slimming clubs, of trying to go to the gym, of trying to diet without any end goal, really, these things, because I thought it was expected of me, as opposed to working towards a goal I had in mind myself. The next question that we focused on was, do I know what I'm chasing? And the answer was no. Why was I doing all these things? Why was I going through the motion that I was hoping to achieve? And I couldn't answer that, which is crazy. I was going to the gym sometimes, eating healthy sometimes, but no goal or knew why. Things tying in with that was, it's okay once you admit that you don't know what you're chasing, but you do need to focus on it, up with whatever your goal is. Ideally, I would recommend it should not be a weight that you are chasing. Be a feeling of confidence, of happiness. And that sounds cheesy, but it's the truth. The thing is, if you don't know what you are chasing, do you know what it is you're trying to get away from in terms of day-to-day lifestyle? Trying to do that. So what behaviours or what things can you do to move you further and further away from the habits and behaviours that you don't want day to day? Mouthful, but bear with me. Binge eating and similar behaviour can be an outward manifestation of trying to control a situation I can't otherwise. Binge eating can be an outward manifestation of trying to control a situation that I can't otherwise. Conscious eating can be due to emotions. Am I trying to eat my emotions? For me, particularly stress, boredom, and feeling down. This came from we identified eventually that one of my main triggers was when I found myself in situations that something negative happened, power over, but that then made me feel bad. So for example, if I seen other people be wronged in some way, a decision was made that impacted me that I couldn't do otherwise, or if something happened that I couldn't then undo, something like control that situation in itself. My way of dealing with it was trying to control a new situation that I did control to make myself feel better. The new situation I would create would be eating food. Food made me feel better temporarily, and that was my way of trying to control something. Like 2 fingers up, F you, I'll make myself feel better anyway, but in a very, very unhealthy way. And you need to think about that. When is it usually that you binge eat? Has something happened recently? And try and look for a trend there. And are you trying to control that through food? Because do things for me, prioritise me. Stop worrying about what other people might be thinking. Very difficult one, and I guess this was something I did learn to do on Biggest Loser, and I forgot over time to prioritise myself. If you want to achieve things, you have to make time for it. If you want to improve your health, your mindset, you have to make time. Time throughout the day, throughout the week, which means putting you first, ahead of work, ahead of family, and that's very difficult. If you have a really important, or any job, we get so caught up with that kind of thing, and with friends, family, worrying about things. I guess we learned that it's so crucial to make time for me, for you, each day, each week, to focus on the positive things you want to do. Is being open and honest with the people that love you and the people that you love that are around you, and explain what's going on. You need to be honest. Let people in. That is extremely scary, but it's part of the process you need to go through. Just sitting down with somebody, love, or whoever. We need to talk. I'm worried about my weight, or worried about my eating behaviours, and I need your support. I need to make a little bit of time for me to help me make things a bit better day to day. Can you help me? Then was focus on all the positives day to day. What have I done well, and be proud of my achievements. I didn't with that idea where all I was thinking about was negative things. So the idea of this was, instead of constantly thinking about negatives, make time every day. Bed at night, when you're just getting ready to close your eyes, those final few minutes, just say, well done, Paddy, you did this well. For you, it could be something as simple as, well done, you had a healthy breakfast today. It's the first time in ages. Brilliant work. Or well done, you did something really good. Or with your family, or with a friend, whatever, anything positive, no matter how small, you need to focus on. Enforcement of those kind of positive messages to yourself, as I learned, was hugely powerful, hugely. And do a 5-minute meditation mindfulness session every day. So basically, in the morning, what I would do is 5 minutes when I woke up in bed and worrying about the worries of day-to-day life, was to make time and think about, okay, little check-in with Paddy. How is my mindset today? What am I thinking about? How am I feeling towards myself? So essentially, at the very start of the day, you're almost getting your thoughts in check and in order. It's already kind of cleared for the rest of the day. And it sounds so simple, but wow, it made such a difference. It honestly did. That piece at the end of the day, when I got into bed, was rethinking over the day and what had gone really well. So it was brilliant, that check-in with yourself. As soon as you wake up, okay, what am I thinking? Anything negative, just draw a line under it, address it, and don't linger on it. When you get into bed, final few minutes, okay, well done me. What did I do well today? And it can just be in your own mind. You can write it down if you want to, if it helps. But everything from the sessions, that few minutes in the morning and the evening had the biggest impact on me. Final couple. One was, I'm worth it. And again, that's something people struggle with, is realising their own self-worth. No matter who you are worth just as much as anybody else in terms of value and in what you give day to day. Just because you might be overweight or whatever, unfit, That doesn't mean you're any way inferior to anybody else. You're not. One of us is different, is unique in our own way. For some people, it's shape, size, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're worth it. Investing time in yourself. You are worth prioritizing you. You are worth trying to make things a little better for yourself day to day. You are. Be awesome. Okay? And if people try to bring you down, you need to limit your time with those people, those negative mindsets and behaviors. You don't need to be around that. Oh, that's easier said than done, but that's where this making time for you is so important in the morning and particularly at night time to focus on the positives day to day. Final two was, what would Angie think? Which again is really personal to me, but was really important. Angie would think, Paddy, cop the fuck on, look at you, are you where you are, draw a line under it and get on with it. Don't linger on it. This, and don't fucking give up. That's what she'd say. 100%. You gotta remember, you are awesome. Yeah, so that was up to May of last year, and those sessions took me to. Very emotional, hugely rewarding, the financial cost, but thinking about how much money have you spent on diets, slimming clubs, fads over the years. Think about it. How much have you spent? Probably a small fortune. It was €700 or €800 on investing in my mindset, which is a long-term, I guess, investment in terms of the rewards that it gives. I can hand on heart say that not once since those sessions have I binged. I have days where I'm lazy, and that's realization. Not everything is down to binge eating. I am a lazy ass sometimes. I really am. Motivation, I can't be arsed. And those times, that's my fault. There's no blame. I'm just lazy at times. We all are. Understanding myself and having my mind in sync with my body, so powerful. A bit airy fairy, but to people that struggle with binge eating or struggle with those behaviours and haven't been able to put their finger on what to call it, I really hope that you can relate to that and to the things I've said. I've been totally open and honest here to be, because I've been very fortunate with the help and advice and guidance that I've got through the years, and I think, you know, in good karma, it's nice to share that. Other people, even in the slightest little bit, I want to. It's nice to be nice. I've been on for ages. I'm going to wrap this up now. Hopefully I haven't bored you, but thank you so much for watching these, for everyone that gets through it. I really appreciate allowing me the time to share my experiences and my thoughts and stuff with you. And I'd love to hear your comments. So snap me. You are worth it, and you're awesome.